Welcome. This is NASCA TV, our podcast series that we unpack emerging issues happening around the country with our state chief administrators. Good morning. I am Pam Goins, Executive Director here at NASCA, and I'm joined by Gaines Brown, our Research Manager here at NASCA, along with Commissioner Michelle Gilman of Connecticut, who has been so gracious to offer her time and share her thought leadership around digitization of government operations, a huge topic that we know all states are concerned with at this point. So Commissioner, welcome. We're so glad to have you on our podcast today. Thank you for your time. We know that you were appointed by Governor Lamont back in February of 2022. So the pandemic was kind of full force, but you previously were serving as a Deputy Chief Operating Officer and Chief Procurement Officer as well in Department of Administrative Services. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey in state government, as well as how it felt to take leadership during a global health pandemic?
Certainly. So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to join both of you and also to be a participant with all of my new colleagues. I look forward to meeting all of my NASCA fellow team members over the next few months and years ahead. I'm proud to be a part of the state of Connecticut team and really part of this larger team of state chief administrators. The COVID pandemic, obviously, as you mentioned as well, was a significant challenge for all of us across the country and continues to be so. But I'm proud that through my record of service to the state of Connecticut in state government, quite honestly, and also federal government, helped prepare me personally and professionally for some of the challenges that we experienced. Most recently, before I took the Deputy COO position under the governor's office, I had worked for the state comptroller's office, which was really a sister agency in many ways to the Department of Administrative Services and the governor's office. So through that experience, I had a broad range of opportunities to work with operations, healthcare, delivery, and also technology. And so now in this new role, I feel very much at home, but in a different role with the Department of Administrative Services. During the pandemic in particular, it was really an opportunity as part of the Chief Operating Officer team to really work across our agencies and build a more collaborative process, break down silos among our agencies. We were in an emergency and we needed to get the job done quickly, whether it be bringing test kits to our facilities that were treating vulnerable residents or getting test kits to our correction facilities, our state police, and others. So really proud of the job that we did under our COO team, which I continue to say was a small but mighty team. But not only responding to our testing needs at the time, but also rolling out vaccination and also providing for COVID response and COVID recovery facilities for our state employees and also for our vulnerable residents. So proud of the work that we've done. I emphasize at all times that it's a team effort from all levels of government, but really proud again to be here today and to share some of our lessons learned. Thank you.
We do appreciate your time. And again, we know you're doing yeoman's work there in the state. The pandemic certainly changed the whole landscape of how our states are approaching many processes. So we're going to dig in a little bit today around digital government, digitization. And I know back in 2021, you were pretty heavily engaged in Connecticut's technology optimization with bets and bits, and we certainly want to unpack what that looks like. But I know you all are working to ensure that all the citizens of your state and your businesses are able to interact with government as efficiently as possible. Tell us a little bit about how those initiatives were developed and maybe some of the success stories that you've seen.
Absolutely. Thank you again for the question. So one of Governor Lamont's top priorities has really been opening up government to the people in terms of accessibility and creating opportunities where our businesses, our residents are spending less time in line a little bit more accessible online for all the services and opportunities that government offers, and really giving residents and our customer facing clients the opportunity to live their lives honestly. So getting out of the DMV line, which historically across the country we know is an issue and oftentimes a joke, but something that was really a concern for him. So whether it spanned from the DMV to our Department of Labor, to our Health and Human Services sector, or our business sectors, he's been very focused on delivering top-notch customer service that's both efficient, customer friendly, and also creates a stronger, more efficient opportunity for our state employees who, quite frankly, are doing this work day in and day out. So creating more digital platforms across our state network have really supported our residents and our state employees who are working so hard to deliver better services across our state.
Commissioner Gilman, thank you so much for providing that information with respect to the services that are provided through the Department of Administrative Services. Earlier this year, the state was awarded with the Tyler Public Sector Excellence Award on improving best practices and improvement of efficiency, citizen satisfaction, and return on investment. Tell us what precipitated this honor and how are state agencies across the enterprise collaborating to produce more effective results?
Thank you so much for the question. So as I mentioned, one of Governor Lamont's top priorities upon coming into office several years ago was really enhancing our digital platform. As part of that, we've really focused on IT optimization across all of our executive branch agencies. A significant component of IT optimization was building up a stronger cross-agency collaboration. And I think the Tyler Award is a prime example of the success of that model. We, through the award, it recognizes really through our Department of Consumer Protection, the BITS organization, which is our fond name for our technology division under DAS, and several other agencies that all perform various regulatory duties and functions, the opportunity to build a stronger platform for those regulatory functions that all those various agencies perform. And so we're really proud of the work that our employees, our partnerships, our stakeholders in private industry, businesses, and again, our agencies developed to create this system that's now been recognized by the Tyler Award. So again, really proud of that work, but I have to emphasize it is all about collaboration and partnership, listening to our sister agencies, not just building a platform that we believe via BITS that will work, but listening to our stakeholders through that process. So very excited about the potential for additional functions similar to what we've built and that's being recognized by the Tyler Award.
Absolutely. One component of DAS that we believe was very impressive and can be a model for other states is your enhanced licensing administrative processes. You are using technology to modernize state government services through cross-agency collaboration for more simplified state services. Tell us how the licensing program came to be and how DAS has led the various strategies.
Sure. So since 2016, we've had these e-licensing programs in process. But I would say with the course of the pandemic, again, also at Governor Lamont's direction to move this quickly, we've really escalated the ability to move forward on the e-licensing programs. So starting in 2016 and to the present day, we've gone from 4 agencies to now 12 of our regulatory organizations utilizing this e-licensing system. So you can see the trajectory of where we've really enhanced these services, which directly impact our businesses and citizens doing business online. And again, being able to spend more time doing their business, reaching out to their own customers, and building and expanding their own base. And so with this e-licensing program, we're now serving over 815 credentials, primarily licensing by these digital platforms. Incredibly significant when you calculate the hours behind the scenes that's saved now by doing all of these transactions online, rather than whether it's an electrician or a new business having to go into an agency and waiting somewhere between the hours of 8:30 and 4 to fill out paperwork and get their applications completed. So again, really excited about the successes of this model, but more important, the continued focus that we'll have moving forward to do more of this work in the future.
Very impressive components of your e-licensing program, and what an advancement you all have made there in Connecticut. Tell us a little bit about maybe the landscape of the digital government services in the state right now, maybe some of your plans for enhancing the digitization as well as some sustainability. We know getting them in place is one thing, but continuing them into the future. So maybe help us understand where you all are in the state of Connecticut.
Sure. So in addition to the programs that we've talked about today, we've had some incredible successes with our business one-stop shop. We've got a portal, business.ct.gov, that's really our one-stop business development center, where a new business can look at how to fill out tax forms, what resources are available for grants or funding or loans, how else a business needs to form, and what resources are really available to a business as they need to support and grow in the state of Connecticut. So that's something we're extremely proud of. Taking that model, we're now looking to expand that into other sectors such as transportation, a front-facing portal that will help support our residents looking for various transportation options, whether it's bus, livery services, Uber, the like. And then we're also very focused on our healthcare sector and creating an HHS platform where if citizens, residents are applying for certain benefits or programs at our Department of Social Services, they have access to other programs run by other state agencies, perhaps healthcare, that have similar application processes, really to help streamline that process for all of our residents, and so that they're really not duplicating all of that work for each single program and service that they're looking for. So we're really excited about the potential this has for residents across our state. And again, Government Lamont's direction, we're moving very quickly. And I think part of what we saw in the pandemic was the need to move quickly, given some of the shutdowns we saw across government, in private industry, and other areas, to respond and to perform and keep government running. So really proud of our team across the state, our line employees that are working every day, and all of our agencies that are working to support this effort.
And you should be very proud of all of that work. I think the pandemic certainly showed state governments and the citizens just what is able to be accomplished in a time of emergency. So you talked a little bit about the one-stop shop there in the state and how important that is and all the successes that you're seeing. Let's unpack that just a little bit more. Talk to us about business.ct.gov. How did that really come to be, and how does that fit into the whole overall vision of the state?
Certainly. So with businessct.gov, we have well over 8 agencies that are participating in that portal. So everything from the Secretary of the State, which registers most of our businesses, again, to our Department of Revenue Services, which participates on some registration and tax form issues as well. Again, DECD, which offers various loan and funding opportunities. So it really has grown our business sector, and we're really proud of the fact that since launching this program, over 10,000 businesses, actually I think it's 11,000 as of this last quarter, have utilized that system as a new business to create those transactions. So really proud of that impact. We estimate that our new businesses have saved well over 65,000 hours in time by using these online portals, online services, rather than reaching a government worker, behind the screen or, at an office to do that business. It also allows for our agency employees to dig into other priority work that we need to do and really engage our employees in additional growth opportunities here. So it's really created incredible opportunities for growth for our line staff to do other important work. But obviously, again, on the front-facing side for our businesses to really have that efficiency on the other end.
That is incredibly impressive to have that many businesses going through the portal and providing them with that licensure. I think that's really impressive. Want to ask you, as commissioner, you oversee fleet management, human resources, facilities, and school construction grants, and many other functions. How are you using technology platforms and systems to digitize various initiatives?
It's an excellent question. So we are continuing to look at all of those different functions that DAS administers, and we have so many different missions, and I'm sure my colleagues are thinking the same. And so how do we take the successes that we have promulgated for other agencies and utilize them in-house and only expand on that? So when it comes to our school construction program, which we manage the grants for our 169 communities that may apply for school construction programs, how can we do a better job of reducing the paperwork of an application, create a digital application, and then also utilize those digital services as a partner with our municipalities as they're going through the audit process for those grant programs. So it not only helps our fiscal staff, our audit staff, and our school construction grant staff, but it also helps the end user, our municipalities who don't have the time to struggle with paper applications, mailing them in and waiting for us to review them. It creates such a more dynamic opportunity to look for issues with an application and status of applications. So creating that online application process is just so much more effective. I just want to stress that the collaboration that we've seen in these digital platforms and these cross-agency initiatives has just been extraordinary. And I would encourage my colleagues to really dig in, not only within their agencies, but across all of government, whether it's municipal, county government, quasi-publics and the like, to see how we can really utilize our digital sector more effectively.
Absolutely. That piece on collaboration is incredibly important with respect to the efficiency and effectiveness of doling out government services and goods. So I want to ask, as a leader, what are your key takeaways as you think about digital government and enhancing services for both your internal customers and citizens of the state? What would you like to share with your CAO colleagues around the country as they embark upon their various digitization initiatives?
Sure. So first and foremost, what we have found IT optimization to have resulted in, and it's pretty new and it's really an infant process, but already again seen so many successes. We really had several goals. Our mission for our team is to be one team, to improve the outcome and to own your outcome. So for our IT team, they live with that mission every day, and that is their focus. So I think as my colleagues consider how to go about an optimization or to look at an approach for delivering IT services, to consider the culture of the organization and what you want to achieve internally is important. In terms of our larger goals, I think it's important to note that we believe that optimization has allowed us to use newer technology as a collaboration rather than having individual agencies acquire their own technology and technology that may not speak to each other within different agencies or branches of government. And so, consolidating or optimizing some of our technology has expanded our purchasing power, but it's also brought our ability to really coordinate that technology in a better, stronger way. Cybersecurity is something we have to talk about, that optimizing our IT has really given us the ability to monitor our cybersecurity efforts and strengthen them even further. And obviously that's a daily activity that we all face, and it's 24/7. So having a dedicated team within our organization that's focused on cybersecurity, rather than, again, each individual agency monitoring their own systems and networks, is critical. And then two more benefits is this really does help us create new opportunities for our IT and other related staff as the organization grows and evolves. Being able to look at the organization in full allows us to do additional training, cross-training, cross-responsibilities for many of our staff. And we look forward to doing more of that as the organization takes a firmer shape. And then planning and meeting that public demand for services. It really goes hand in hand, that public demand for more online transactions, more digital government, more front-facing doors will not stop. And so how do we continue to plan for that? And that's where IT optimization, having one organization focused on that, really helps us get to that end game, which again, I say will never end, because there's always more you can do and always more you can do to be better. And I think my closing notes in terms of how we've been effective here in the state is really you want to grow a culture of collaboration. Again, not only internally, but with your partners. Again, whether they're municipal partners, your agency partners, or others that you work with, and really listening and understanding the needs and concerns rather than talking to and providing solutions before you hear the needs is so important. And I'm sure we all live that every day, but I think it's important to identify that here today. And then learn from your mistakes. We're all, not perfect, and we've all made mistakes along the way, but I think being able to learn from those and take some lessons learned really helps us, whether it's lessons that we all learned through the COVID pandemic, or lessons we've learned through centralizing various functions, dealing with certain digital processes that may not have worked, may not have been the right solution, but how do you do better? Not being afraid to acknowledge that we can always do better, I think is important. So focusing, I think, on the residents and how we can best serve them truly is our mission every day. And again, I think if we can keep our focus on that primarily, all of the other pieces that I've just identified really are part of that plan, but keeping that focus on the overall mission is key and central to the overall program. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. We so appreciate your thought leadership, your wise words. And it's obvious that you all do have a great collaborative culture there in the state, and that you're working towards the vision of ensuring that all these enhancements are made for the citizens of the state. So again, thank you, Commissioner Michelle Gilman from the state of Connecticut, for being with us on our NASCA TV podcast looking at digital government and digitization. And we look forward to you all joining us on our next episode. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.